So here I have the photo of the construction paper image that I took sitting on my desktop. I have it saved in another part. I'm going to go File, New, Letter Size, and in some of those videos they might have said they're going to use RGB color or CMYK. Feel free to choose RGB color and medium 150 pixels per inch. Say create, and you could work on a vertical or a horizontal. File, place. I'm going to choose my image. I want to make sure that I'm not linking it, but that it's going to be embedded. I'm going to click and drag it to the size that I want it. There we go. It's in a layer, and I'm going to lock this layer. So I can't touch that layer now, but I'm going to work on a layer on top of it. And I want to make sure that I work with a fill and a stroke. And so I'm going to give this a white fill and a kind of a magenta stroke. And first off, I'm going to start with the curvature tool. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit to the circle. This may or may not work. Let's see. I'm clicking, and I'm just clicking, and you see how it kind of makes a circle around the point that I'm making. Click and click, click. There. Yikes. There we go. A circle, that's kind of a perfect circle. Now if I wanted to make that with the pen tool only, I don't get that curve automatically. I've got to kind of create it by clicking and dragging. Clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, and there we go. What I'm going to do here is change my color to be something of the lines that I'm creating to be a little bit more contrasty here. So let's try that. All right, here, I'm going to try the heart next. Actually, the square, sorry. Click, 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 and get back to the first point, and you always know when you're back to the first point when you see that little circle right next to the pen tool. Go to the, let's go to the heart. Okay, I'm clicking, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging. I'm going to change directions here, so I'm going to hit the Option key, and I'm going to go back kind of in the same direction that I just came from. Getting back to my first point by clicking and dragging. Now I'm going to go fast, and I'm just to do all of these shapes, and the best way to learn the pen tool is to do it, and so I'll do these really fast, well, as fast as I can, and when I want to see underneath here, like I'm thinking I might want to be able to see where I'm going, I can always make this a little bit more transparent underneath, and I'll show you on the next shape. So if I'm going to do this shape, click, 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 and I've decided, oh, and I'm doing this a little bit more messily. I'm going to come back and edit these shapes. And I also, let me undo, click and drag, and get back to the first point right there. I'm going to choose this shape and make it a little bit more transparent here. So if I go to 40%, I'll be able to see what's underneath. And if I'm trying to actually copy something that's underneath, I might want to do that. Or like in the video, he dimmed the layer underneath. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to select that again. Oops, and I'm going to make just this one shape back to 100%. I'm going to edit those now. So I'm using the selection tool that moves the whole thing. The direct selection tool is right under the magic wand tool, which I think is a funny place. And I'm selecting a point and editing this. Yep. Click and drag. Click and drag. I've got to get a hold of a point so I can make the shape or make the line curve that goes around it just a little bit. More rounded. All right. That's like good enough, really. We're practicing. This is all practice. And I've got one more. You don't have all of these shapes. You didn't have to. I'm going to make and after you've worked with this for a really long time, you get the hang of it. It doesn't take a really long time to kind of understand it and appreciate it, but it does take a long time for it to kind of feel like second nature. And there we go. Now I'm zooming out. And what I actually have, I want to see what I've done, and I can make invisible the layer 1, and these are my shapes. Now, I don't have to stay with the white inside, so these are all white. They all came up when I selected them as one, so let's make something inside, and let's make a different color for the stroke, and there we have part 1.